Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining today's Broker Launch and Learn webinar. My name is Leah Elias. I am a Product Marketing Manager at DAT and will be moderating today's session. If this is your first time joining a DAT Launch and Learn, welcome. These webinars are intended to showcase some of the latest feature updates within the overall DAT platform. The session today will cover 5 very exciting demos led by experts from our product team. And before we dive in, I did want to highlight a few housekeeping items. If at any point during the session you have a question for any of our speakers, you can post a comment on LinkedIn or YouTube directly. Questions will be answered at the end of the webinar, pending how much time there is available. I also wanted to let everyone know that all attendees will receive a recording of today's session via email as well. But with that, let's go ahead and get started. With me today, I am very excited to be joined by an incredibly talented group of experts representing a variety of product teams within the DAT One Freight Match and DAT IQ analytics platforms. On the next slide, you'll see here in just a minute, we also have a very full agenda for today's session. As I mentioned before, there are 5 demos that we'll go through today. We'll start by reviewing some of the latest features in DAT One and then cover exciting updates from our DAT IQ analytics space as well. Kicking things off, I'll hand things over to Jaime Salazar to talk about new improvements in DAT One.
Thank you, Leah. Hello, everyone. I'm a product manager here at DAT, working primarily with DAT One and the freight matching experience. I'm based in Portland, Oregon, near one of our headquarters, and I'm super excited to show you some of the new things that we've been cooking here at DAT, where we continuously are trying to improve and optimize your user experience when posting loads and when searching for trucks. So let me show you some of the things here in the posting experience. Let me start with my shipments. And this is a sneak peek. This is a preview of things to come. Where something that you would notice here on my shipments is down now you have a form here at the top. And what does this do? This allows you to quickly enter load postings in the UI, so they're available in search loads. You can probably at this point familiar with the advanced posting form. Why is it advanced? Because you can add tracking, because you can select your audience. You can limit your audience to your private network. You can post it to everybody on the load board or to extended network. You can make your load post bookable or negotiable. But what we're bringing up very soon will be the ability to create a posting with the required fields, so you can post faster. We know that efficiency is key. We know time is money, and we're super excited to bring this to you in the next year. So what you're seeing here is that you have the same posting form, but in a condensed way. So I'm going to post a load from Austin to Chicago. I'm gonna select the van here. I'm gonna put my length and my weight, and I can post it to extended network the same way that you can do it in the main advanced form. You can, of course, clear fields, or you can also go to the advanced form from here, and everything that you will enter here will be already pre-populated in the advanced options form. On this case, I'm going to post my load, and in a matter of seconds, your load posting is available in the load board. Again, this is coming very soon. Let me know if there's any feedback, anything that you also want to see in this quick post form. We're always open for feedback. Now, let me move on to the search experience. So when you're searching for trucks, I have a couple of searches here that I already ran. And I have this LA to anywhere open destination search. Something that you're going to see new, everybody will see new, is that we rearrange some of the details once you expand one of those search results, one of the struck postings, where you're going to see the post details on the very left for that truck that is available. And on the right, you're going to see our data that is coming from FMCSA and from our own account system, where you can see some of the carrier highlights. And from here, you can also click on any of this links or view more. I'm not going to click right now because Calvin is going to show you all that. But you're going to be able to dig a lot deeper into this carrier's data. Something else that you are going to notice is that you can open more than one at the same time. We got feedback saying, hey, sometimes I open more than one at a time because I want to compare different search results. We are allowing that right now in production. Let me close this to postings and show you something that is also out for some of you. We're doing some beta testing on qualification settings. What does this do? This brings all the data from FMCSA divided in 3 different buckets: safety rating, age of authority, and insurance information in your search experience. So here, what you can do is, let's say I'm looking for this safety rating for carriers with 90+ days of authority and a little bit higher minimum here. When I click done, you're going to see that we're annotating, we're flagging some of the search results so that you can quickly focus on the carriers that match your compliance settings. So in this case, you see some red X's and some green check marks. This will tell you what they mean, but basically, I think it's self-explanatory. The green check marks mean this is a carrier that you can actually work with. So we're looking for you to reuse that time that it takes for you to find qualified carriers. And we're testing this qualification settings. Again, we're going to have some a QA at the end. Feel free to ask any questions. Any feedback, you can also send it my way or with Leah. It will always open for feedback and make sure that this is working to solve your problems. Thank you very much. And with that said, let me hand it over to Calvin.
Thanks, Jaime. Hi, everybody. I'm Calvin Locklear, Product Director at DAT, based in Denver, Colorado. And we're going to kind of pick up where Jaime left off. One of the things he showed you was some of those carrier highlights in those search results. And we're going to review the carrier company profile here. So you can link to that. There's a link to that from those search results. But we'll also show you how to find that carrier profile as well from company search. So here I'm on the dashboard, and I can navigate to company search. And similar to how you use other tools, we're now reducing the amount of tools that it takes to find this information on these carriers, which is really nice. And we're going to give you lots of rich data on those carriers. We're showing a preview of that in the search results. And now you can navigate to the profile through like an MC number or a name. And we'll just do an example here to get to one. So I just typed in an MC, and I can click on that search results to see more. So this is the detailed carrier company profile. You can see a lot of that information that Jaime was showing in those search results is here up at the top. So same things around authority, the date, how long it's been active, if they have a broker authority. Really important stuff here too, number of power units and inspections, all of this coming from FMCSA and all the contact info there. So then we have a lot of detailed information broken out into these tabs here. Looking under general, we can see where their inspections have happened by state. Really handy overview with numbers as you roll over them. Where do they operate? So here, obviously really important if you're working with a carrier that's saying they're gonna run in Arizona. Well, they haven't run in Arizona, so that's something that you can check there. These company insights, this is where we get some really important data that you'd be looking for before working with a carrier. Are there any alerts on their authority? Is their insurance active? what's their safety data. And again, this is really interesting too, to be able to look at this in comparison to number of power units. So here, because there's a hazmat violation, it might not be as critical because of the number of power units. But if that recent safety data was showing up there and there was a really small number like 3, that might be something you want to dig into. Detailed information around crashes is found here, and then other profile data on their background and capacity down at the bottom. So let's go back up and look at some of these other tabs. Authority information, lots of detailed FMCSA information here all in one place. The interesting thing that you'll look for here is interstate versus intrastate. So what is their authority status? Common, contract, broker. You can dig in to find out if they are matching your needs for where your load is going. Insurance details. We're going to grow this over time, but right now you can see what they're covered up to. Again, status, is it valid right now? And then we're obviously looking at a Landstar account that has a lot of DAT accounts, but this is good information for you to look at as well. You're looking at a carrier company, how many DAT accounts are registered under that MC, so that you know exactly who you're working with. And here you can also block certain particular DAT accounts under that MC or prefer them to find later. So there you have it. This again reduces the number of tools that you need. It reduces the number of tabs that you would have open to find this information, and it's all in one place, and it's going to grow over time with lots more capabilities. And happy to do Q&A at the end of this. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Megan.
Awesome. Thank you, Calvin. I'm really excited. I'm Megan McFeely. I'm the product manager for the LaneMakers product. Some of you may have seen it in our most recent Launch and Learn in July, but we wanted to take an opportunity today to refresh folks on the LaneMakers tool and introduce people who may not have seen it before. It's accessible in the Tools menu of DAT One under LaneMakers, and this is an awesome tool to be able to find capacity in lanes with hidden information. So being able to see your carrier's searches or historical posts to be able to see folks that may be working on lanes that aren't actively posting trucks right now. So by default, we're going to be looking at carrier activity in the LaneMakers tool. And let's take a look at what we have running from our Denver DAT office to our location in Beaverton, Oregon. And we're going to be looking for vans within the last 30 days. So when I hit the search button, it's going to be evaluating all of the DAT One activity as well as DAT Mobile activity for our carrier base. And it's going to return to me the top 30 of the 313 carriers that have been operating out of the Denver to Beaverton market within the last 30 days. If you are one of our LaneMakers premium customers, you're also able to adjust from 30 days up to a year's past history. And you can see either very narrowly into a 3-digit zip market or expanding out to an entire region if you need to see a little bit more information about who's running lanes in the various areas that you need capacity. We'll show you the number of load searches as well as the number of truck postings that each carrier company has performed within the last 30 days. And when you click on a row, you can see additional information about that company. All of this information is coming from that company profile that Calvin just showed off. And if you click on the company name, you'll be brought into that company profile experience as well. We're continuing to grow and expand the information that's available in LaneMakers so that we can provide additional insight into all of your capacity sourcing needs. We'll be doing, I think, Q&A at the end. And with that, I will hand things over to Chad.
Thanks, Megan. Hi, everyone. I'm Chad Kennedy, product manager on the IQ side of the business. So I'll be showing you Benchmark, which has been released and out live for shippers since May 1st. And we're starting to roll this out to brokers. It's in beta phase for our brokers. So I'll do a quick walkthrough of the application and show you some of the new features that we're releasing as well. So Benchmark is designed to reflect back to you your contribution data that our customers contribute to us. That's part of the agreement when you sign up for RateView or Benchmark Analytics rates. So as we receive your contribution data, it becomes visible in this application for you here. And so this application can be as high level for general management reporting. So to answer questions for general management, such as how do my rates compare to RateView or the benchmark analytics rate over time? And what do those trends look like over time? Am I performing better or worse than I have historically? And it also gives you an additional deep dive level of analytics where you can drill down. So every item on here you see is clickable. So I can quickly identify within my data set here, which currently is set for all data. I can quickly see the lanes within my data that are below the benchmark rate and those lanes that are above benchmark rate. And I can quickly drill down into those. I can see that dynamically changing on the map and my trends down below. So this trend here, for example, is telling me that my rates are 17% above benchmark for this period of time of 2024 compared to the benchmark. I can also see the mix of spot and contract rates and use that as a benchmark as well. The data is drillable as well, so I can go down to lower levels of detail as well as these very high level trends. So I can see the boom and bust cycles of the marketplace in this high level trend here. As I go down into deeper levels of data, drilling in more, I can see other drill down capabilities like this cost by attributes chart can help me identify areas within my network of opportunity. So quickly I can tell I've got an outlier here in red that's high on my vertical axis, which is dollars over benchmark or delta cost. I can drill down into that carrier and learn what lanes is that carrier running as I scroll down here. I can start drilling into each lane. And I can see the list of carriers that are running on any lane. I'm already filtered down to just one carrier. Every object I can export out to Excel. So if I want to take this lane list, dump it out to Excel, go have a conversation with that carrier, maybe email over to them. I have that ability quickly from the application. And the drill down capability doesn't end there. We have over 25 different filters that you can apply to drill down into your data to learn about your company insights. You can learn how your rates perform on hazmat versus non-hazmat loads, your service level, expedited or regular, the number of drops. Do I perform better on multi-drop loads or direct move loads, and things like that. We also have some metrics that we define on our side and populate in here for you. One that I'm very keen on is lane consistency. So I can quickly identify within my network, show me just the lanes that run consistently throughout the year. So this is a 52-week test. Show me my lanes that have run at least 26 to 52 weeks out of the last year. That's where I have the most leverage in the marketplace to negotiate lower rates. So I might then identify those lanes within that category and drill down into those lanes and find opportunity to lower my cost by negotiating with the current incumbent carriers, or maybe hopping over to LaneMakers and finding new carriers on these lanes to identify more capacity for my network. And so this application has rolled out to shippers since May 1st. We're rolling it out to brokers now. Some of the features that you're seeing in this current demo aren't live yet for broker, but they'll be rolling out over the next month, like the map and the horizontal bar charts that you see here. Yeah, looking forward to hearing some feedback from our customers. And so I think I'll be handing off to Cole now.
All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Chad. So I'm going to be reviewing the new IQ RateView, the single lane experience. So this is a direct replacement of our legacy RateView, the gray screen that many of you have probably used, where you can type in an OD parent equipment and get rates back. This is a direct replacement. So 3 housekeeping things. Please, if you haven't already, please go and try this out. It's available in the IQ web spa. Also, if you're using legacy RateView, there's a little blue link below the current rate. You can click on that and use it. The other thing that I'm going to show you here is I'm using the most supreme subscription base, which is our premium, as well with the RateCast add-on. So if you see some features that you don't have and you're interested, please reach out to your rep to see how you can get signed up. And the last thing is feedback. So I'm missing this because I'm in a test environment, just like Chad explained, but there's a little feedback button in the bottom right. If you do choose to go and use it, please fill that out and let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you. Hopefully good, but also areas for improvement as well, so that we know where to target and put our focus areas into. I read all of those, by the way. So, okay, so I'll hop right in. So the two things that I really want to push across today is, how does this optimize your experience? And then what are we doing from a load contribution standpoint that can help you within here? So I'm going to start with the optimization aspect and how it's a little bit new and better and different than the legacy RateView. So first things first, actually, this isn't this first screen. You will be met with a recent search page screen. So these are all of your latest 10 searches. There's opportunity for us to improve this as well over time, being able to save searches. But again, this is already a slight improvement from the recent one. So I'm going to click on a recent lane that I've run here. And then as right away, as you notice, I've got a very skinny version that's intentional, where we don't view as many rates. That might be by design. If you want to come in here and you're looking quickly at maybe the best fit 3-day rate, if you choose to want to look at more information, by all means, you can start opening up all these different aspects of information and looking at the information that is more specific to your use case. So right away, in terms of the other things that we're doing to optimize, before it was a little bit hidden to change some of the settings. You had to change between shipper and carrier, broker to carrier spot, and shipper to carrier contract. Right here, we just put all the toggles right here in front, so that you're able to easily just swap them out. And then, of course, all the information on your screen, you can see directly changes as you swap. Moving right along, I'm not going to spend too much talking about the RateView rate. I think most people are pretty familiar with that here. Coming down into the graph area. So again, on the optimization aspect, we offer this table view now. Some people just like to look at the straight up rates, and that's great. And so we've got that information here. It's a little bit better of an experience if you're doing month over month analysis, looking at some rates. You can, of course, just like the legacy, compare your contract versus spot over time, the month over month, 13-month history. If you would like to use the forecasting tool or our RateCast tool, we've got two different options, two different use cases provided. We have the 35-day forecast, which is net new to this experience. So over time, you can see this lane from Fresno to Chicago for a reefer. We predict a slightly increase over the next month or so. And then the 13-month is also available too. And then if you want to get really robust and confuse yourself, I'm just kidding, then you can select the all button, and then you can put on all the different rates and see how those trends lend over time and where the crosses sit. All right, so I'm moving on to the contribution aspect of it, just to play off the presentation that Chad provided. So the other thing is, how am I performing against the market? So that's great that these tools maybe help me move faster, or I can look at more or less rates. How can I do against the market? So there's two things that we offer today that are available in legacy, but they're a little bit easier to see in the new IQ RateView experience. The first one is the DAT, so you can see directly your load contribution that you submit trending over time. Again, this is no change from legacy, but we'll continue to enhance this in the future. And then the table that you're able to evaluate is front and center. And also you can sort it. So if you want to look at loads from later last year, if you want to look at maybe some different carriers. So a lot of the similar functionality that Chad kind of explained, but more from a single lane perspective. And you'll kind of continue to see how these experiences kind of play off one another. And then lastly, I'm just going to run over real quick. We've replaced the quote calculator on the right. The map for context. So this is, of course, helpful at understanding where you are shipping from and to, and possible routes that can be taken. And then we've enhanced the market conditions aspect as well, offering the MCI score, as well as bringing in actual physical load and truck counts from our freight matching products too. And with that, I'm going to pitch it back to you, Leah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cole. And thank you again to all of our speakers today. A lot of good information. As a reminder, a recording session will be shared out and be made available, so you will be able to review each update at a later time as well. Another reminder, if anyone has questions about any of the topics covered today, do feel free to post them now as a comment on YouTube or LinkedIn. It does look like we have a few comments that have come through already, so we'll open up the remaining time that we have for Q&A. If I can get all our lovely speakers back on screen. The first question that I have, it looks like, is for Jaime. Jaime, can you elaborate a little bit more on the posting form in My Shipments? Is that something that will be available for any type of subscription?
Yes, both the advanced long form with the tracking info, with the book now settings, with the negotiation, and the condensed form within My Shipments are available in any subscription for the time being. Yeah.
Awesome. Another access question. Megan, I think this one is for you. How do I get access to LaneMakers?
Yeah, that's a great question. LaneMakers is available for anyone with a premium LaneMakers subscription in the tools menu of DAT One. So you'll see that LaneMakers available as a link within tools. It's on the left-hand nav bar. If you don't have LaneMakers as a part of your subscription today, I just recommend please reaching out to your customer support agent and talking about how you can upgrade your subscription.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. A couple questions on the company profile. Calvin, can you maybe spend a few minutes talking through what the carrier would see on that page? Can the carrier see their profile? Are they able to make changes?
Yeah, good question. So carriers do see their own profile, and it's exactly what the brokers are seeing. So there'll be a link on their dashboard to view your own profile. And they can't make any changes to the profile for obvious reasons. We don't want them changing critical information. But there are links to FMCSA. If there's a dispute for any of the data, they can work with FMCSA directly to get certain things cleaned up.
Awesome. Thank you, Calvin. Jaime, another question on qualification settings. How can I use those qualification settings when I post loads? Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, great question, because that's that aligns to the early feedback we've been getting, where some of our brokers are getting access to the qualification settings have said, okay, awesome, this is a great start. It allows me to search for trucks and see those companies that match my qualification settings. But how can I post? So we are planning to do that, and we are at the early stages of understanding a little bit more of the requirements, making sure that we work with the right partners. So if your company is willing to be part of the beta, also let us know. We would love to get a little bit more insights into how those posting filters will be solving your problems, like reducing risk or reducing the amount of an unnecessary noise calls that you get from carriers that don't match your qualifications. So let us know. We're always open to do some beta testing.
Thanks, Jaime. That's a good segue. It looks like a lot of questions around access, which is awesome. We want people to try these new features out. Chad, can you talk through a little bit about how users can get access to the IQ benchmark beta that you demoed?
Yeah, so in the previous slide, and maybe we can flash that back up again before we close out, there's an email address. So if you email us, if you're already a RateView Premium subscriber, we can get you access to benchmark. Yeah, there's that email address. So if you can copy that and email us, we can get you access pretty quickly. So we'd love to have you join and get feedback from you. And we'll be rolling this out soon to all users that have RateView Premium access.
Thank you, Chad. While I've got you talking, can you elaborate a little bit more about just what rates are being compared in benchmark? Like, elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yes. Yeah, and maybe I should clarify on the previous question too. So I did mention there's a shipper version and a broker version. The shipper version is in released. So that's something that you would, if you should have access to if you've already paid for the product. And otherwise you would need to subscribe to that. The broker version is in the beta phase, and so we could get you into that beta. The shipper version uses a data science-driven rate. It's an algorithmically derived rate. The shipper version uses RateView. So most of our brokers, I'm sorry, I think I might have said shipper. The broker version uses RateView. So most of our brokers will compare their rates to that broker to carrier spot rate, but you do have the ability to toggle that over to that shipper to carrier contract rate if you're interested in making that comparison as well.
Cool. Thank you, Chad. Another access question. Cole, can you talk about how a user will be able to see those forecasted rates in RateView?
Yeah, so that's the forecasted rates are a part of our RateCast add-on. The best recommendation I would have is reach out to your DAT representative, and then I believe we'll also have an email on here as well. Is that the same one? My apologies, Leah. But yes, please reach out. Someone will hook you up for sure. Even I believe we might even offer trials as well. So if you're interested.
Cool. And then one more question, Cole, around IQ RateView. You mentioned this new experience that's different from the legacy platform. Can you maybe spend another minute or so talking about what's new, what users can expect to see that's new versus the legacy system?
Totally. Yeah. So a lot of our focus that we want to really take near and dear to our heart as we enter 2025 is enhance the customization. So I played a little bit around with making the components or the widgets smaller, more rates or less rates. We really want to take that further where you're able to apply different rates in different aspects. So expect to see more changes when it comes to the quote calculator, being able to manipulate different rates within the screen. That's one thing that we want to focus on. And then the other thing is similar to the benchmarking experience when it has to do with contribution data is how am I performing against the market? So a change that you'll actually see probably within the next couple of months is actually the average rate side by side with each of the RateView cards that we looked at. And then you're able to actually see visually how did I perform in that specific time frame in geography against the RateView rate.
Awesome. Thank you, Cole. Sounds like a lot of exciting things coming up. All right. It looks like we got through most of the questions that I can see posted. If you think of any questions after the webinar, no worries. As a reminder, you can reach out to our support team at any time if you have questions that you think about later on as well. So with that, thank you again to our wonderful speakers for reviewing their product demos today. And thank you to everyone who attended today's session. A recording from today will be shared out via email, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, everyone.